Hello students, how are you? I am with you today to discuss the lesson Voyage Science. This lesson is mostly effective for the students of grade 7 and 8. However, as it is a grammar lesson, students of all classes can ask this. Students, we know voice is divided into two categories, active voice and passive voice. And today, in this video, we will practice how to change the active voice into passive. Students, to learn this lesson properly and effectively, you should have the good sense over tense, sentence, verbs, subject, object, and so on. And here, you should move forward according to sentence. Remember, most of the time, passive voice deals with the three sentences: assertive, interrogative, and imperative. And today, in this video, we will practice with only assertive sentence. Let's see the example. Here the first sentence. The driver drives a car carefully. Students, here the assertive sentence in the present indefinite tense. The driver is the subject, drives is the principal verb in the present form, and a car is the object of this sentence, and carefully this word is regarded as extension. Students, now you can ask me why the object a car has been colored here. Because to make passive, knowing the object is too important. Because object of active voice becomes the subject of passive voice. So let's write occur at the place of subject. And second, we should write auxiliary verb according to tense. We know for present indefinite tense we use am, is, are. As the subject here, third person singular number, so we should write here is. And the third task is to write the principal verb. That means past participle form of principal verb. Here the principal verb drives. So drive, drove, driven. Now we should write driven. Our car is driven. Now we should write the preposition by. Remember, most of the time preposition by is basically used, and in some cases another preposition can be used like at, to, and so on. And after the preposition by, we should use or write the subject of active voice as the object. Students, remember, object of active voice becomes the subject of passive voice, and subject of active voice becomes the object of passive voice. This is the rules. Now, after the object, we should write the extension. Here the word carefully is extension of the sentence, so we have written here extension. So the passive, the active was the driver drives a car carefully, and the passive here, a car is driven by the driver carefully. Students, let's see the next example. They ate some fruits yesterday. This time the assertive sentence is in the past indefinite form. Here they is the subject, at is the principal verb in the past form, and some fruits. These two words are the object of this sentence, and yesterday is the extension of this sentence. Students, we have seen in the first sentence that object of active voice becomes the subject of passive voice. So we will write at the place of subject some fruits. Now you must remember that we need to write the auxiliary verb according to tense. For first indefinite tense we use was, were, was or were as the subject here in the plural form. So we must write were. And the third task is writing the verb 3 form or the past participle form of principal verb. Here the principal verb at, that means eat, at, eaten. So we will write here eaten. And now preposition. Preposition by. Some fruits were eaten by. Now after the preposition by, we write the subject of active voice as the object. Students, remember when the subject is noun moves to the object directly without changing its form. But when the subject is pronoun, we should write the objective form of the pronoun. So objective form of they is them, so we have written them. Now after the object we should write extension. Here in the extension only one word is here, yesterday. So we will write now yesterday. Some fruits were eaten by them yesterday. Students, be concentrated. Let's see the next example. Here the third sentence. He will practice the difficult subjects more and more. This time, this sentence is in the future indefinite tense. He is the subject. Will practice. These two words are the verb, auxiliary verb and principal verb. The difficult subjects. These three words are the object of this sentence, which has been colored and which we will write at the place of subject. And more, these three words are the extension of this sentence. So, like before, let's write at the place of subject the difficult subjects. And this time we will use or we will write the auxiliary verb according to tense. And for future indefinite tense, we use shall be or will be, but here we will write will be. Okay. Now this time we should write past participle form of principal verb. Practice, practiced, practiced. And after the verb 3, we must write the preposition by. And now after the preposition by, we should write the extension more and more. Oh, sorry. After the preposition, we use the objective form of the subject. We have written him for he. Now we will write the extension more and more. Okay, students, let's see the next example. Here the example number 4, we do not eat too much dried foods. This sentence is in the negative mood. Remember, if the sentence is negative, we add the word not with the auxiliary verb. Okay. So here in this sentence, object is not colored. So let's identify the object first. We is the subject. Do not eat. Auxiliary verb not, and eat is the principal verb. And too much dried foods. These four words are the object of this sentence, but there is no extension in this sentence. Okay, students, let's write these four words as the subject for making it faster. Too much dried foods. Now, according to tense, we must write the auxiliary verb as it is present in definite tense. Is not, am not, are not. Among these three verbs, we will use are not because this subject is in the plural form. Okay. Now we will use the verb 3 or the past participle form of principal verb eat, at, eaten. Now the preposition by. Too much dried foods are not eaten by. Now the subject will be the object here. The subject we is a pronoun, so we will write the objective form of we, and it is us. Too much dried foods are not eaten by us. Okay, students, we have seen the 4 examples. Students, now we will discuss about some necessary things. Use of auxiliary verbs according to tense. Here you should keep it in your mind that for which tense, which auxiliary verb should you use. And number 2, sense of subject or sensing of subject or pronoun. Let's see. For present indefinite tense, we should use am, is, are. For present continuous tense, am being, is being, are being. For present perfect tense, have been, has been. For past indefinite tense, was, were. And for past continuous tense, was being, were being. And for past perfect tense, had been. For future indefinite tense, will be, shall be. Or for future continuous tense, will be being, shall be being. For future perfect, will have been, shall have been. Let's see. And change of pronoun: I, me, we, us, they, them, he, him, she, her, you. That means no change. It, no change. No change. That means among the pronouns you and it, these 2 pronouns will remain unchanged, and noun always remains unchanged. And now, students, we will talk about the common structure for assertive sentence. And this, if you follow this structure, you will avoid the difficulty to make passive. Here, object subject, that means object will be subject plus auxiliary verb plus v3, that means past participle form of principal verb plus by. And you have already known that some other cases there will be used to or at, but most of the time preposition by is basically used plus subject object. Here object subject, and now subject oblique object. That means here subject of active voice will be object plus extension. Let's match the structure with a sentence. Here another sentence: the government is taking effective steps to develop the country. And here object of this sentence is effective steps. So in the passive voice we have written effective steps, that means object subject, so object subject, and then auxiliary verb are being, and then v3 or the first participle from taken, and by government, that means subject object, subject the government, and we have written here at the place of object, and then extension to develop the country, to develop the country, to develop the country. Effective steps are being taken by the government to develop the country. Students, now I'd like to give you a homework according to this discussion, and you must write this homework, you must do this homework, and this homework is mandatory for the students of Greenfield School. They must submit it to their class teacher when the school is opened. And here in the homework, first sentence is, we love our country very much. And the second sentence is, Rabindranath wrote many poems. Number 3, he was driving the car carefully. Number 4, the unemployed are seeking good jobs. Number 5, I read an interesting story yesterday. Number 6, you will complete the homework properly. And sentence number 7, Jyoti Sharkar will be singing a song melodiously. Number 8, the doctors and nurses are taking care of the corona victims. And number 9, industry brings success. And sentence number 10 in homework, We do not neglect our study. Students, as we have seen, the principal verb has the great value to make passive voice. So I'd like to add a more item to your homework, and that is writing meaning past and participle form of principal verb. So I would like to give you some verb here. These verbs meaning past and past participle form of this verb you also write as your homework. Second verb is bring, build, draw, throw, grow, seek, lose, choose, refer, spread, forbid, drive, write, embezzle. Students, I think you have watched this video with concentration, and I'd like to finish here. See you again in the next class. And students, I'd like to remind you that Bangla version of this video is available in my YouTube channel. If you face any difficulty to understand this lesson, you can watch the Bangla version video. Thanks very much for watching.